is canceling Visa and MasterCard. Europe realized that almost like 95% of their payment processing went through United States payment systems. What really started this was when Visa canceled Russia. They cut them off from their networks in 2022. They thought ain't nobody see this. So if you cut him off, we didn't even think about that. They can just shut off our payment systems. They were like, oh, we have to immediately get some new payment systems in here because this is dangerous. The head of the European Payment Initiative, deep integration created dependencies that could be abused when not all partners were allies. So they didn't switch payment systems. It's called Wero, W-E-R-O. And they already have 48.5 million people using the system. And by 2027, they're going to remove all of their stuff out of Visa and MasterCard and put it into their domestic payment system. Do you know what that's going to do? I'll tell you. That's going to cost American system $24 trillion. 1.4 trillion of that is MasterCard alone. It processes over 7 trillion euros annually. It's 1.5% on the fees. That equates to about $21 billion we're about to lose. So that's Microsoft Teams, Visa, MasterCard. Who else? And they thought we were friends. They thought we were cool. There wasn't gonna be no problems. We'll stick beside y'all. Y'all stick beside us. And then Trump came, second time, because it ain't us. We're not that evil. We wouldn't do that. But you didn't think it was going to happen this fast, which is what a lot of people are saying. They didn't think that they would be able to switch so quickly to a new payment processing system. And what's so great about their new payment processing system, you ask, I'll tell you. Their payment processing system is a tap to pay. It's a one-click checkout, and they have instant refunds. Not 7 to 10 business days in America. You took it instantly on my account. They called it a geopolitical urgency to unacceptable vulnerability to policy volatility. Is that not good? Because it's.
Oh, I don't know why they stopped for. Wow, that was just Satan. All right, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai.
That's a
Hold on, let me pause it right quick. First, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Double honor to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto his like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. I don't know why they just did that, but she's spitting some interesting stuff right here. A lot of interesting stuff. This world's about to crumble. America's about to crumble. Let me let her finish saying what she's saying so I got to do my show.
Visa and urgency to unacceptable vulnerability to policy volatility. Is that not good? Because it's succinct. That's a proper sentence. Also, the ICE protests are causing such a problem overseas because everyone is seeing what's happening, especially what happened in Minnesota. They're redirecting their investment dollars. They're investing in Canada and Europe now. This is what has to happen. You have to see the consequences of your choices. You don't want to play with nobody nicely. You think everybody sweet. Okay. Europe is canceling Visa.
Yo, Nero 47 is fucking this thing up. And he will sit there and have everybody believe that he's running the show. It's me. They love I have them begging to do a deal with me tomorrow, no problem. You know, where how he says it with his hands always flapping like a seal, like he would say something like that. You said they'll love to do business with the United States of America, but they have to pay. They have to pay. Now they say we don't have to pay shit. We'll just do our own thing. America, like when you go into World War I and World War II, America was just isolated. It was just isolated. It was just on its own. It was the Rothschilds wanting the United States in those wars. So that's why they came in the time that they came in those wars. And when they came in those wars, the everything shifted. So this, what's the saying? To the victor goes the spoiler. So whoever wins gets to dictate to the world, according to their history, how things went. So they have everybody believe without America, like he said, everybody would be talking German, like they couldn't last. So now, what's happening? People are starting to remove themselves from this place. I like how she said about the last thing about the ICE situation, because it shows the instability was going on to what was supposed to be a stable investment. America at one time was what? America at one time was stable. All right. No matter what the situation was, it was 100% stable. Now it's not stable no more. If a civil war breaks out, whatever you invested in here, it crumbles. So this system is systematically coming down, even though a lot of it is self-afflicted. But like these lower elites, they're trying to cash in as they can. All right, and that's what's happening. They're trying to cash in right now. So if because that's not the first time I've seen this. I've seen this somewhere else that they cut off Visa and not Discovery, Visa and what's the other shit again? Slack. Yeah, he's gonna come repeat again. That they cut off Visa and Mastercard. Let's Google it too, because I seen it before. I seen it, but oh yeah, I was gonna do that one too. Oh, even what you call it? Visa, Mastercard. Ah, damn it! I hate when it does that. Even in Europe, not Europe, sorry, in Africa, they made their own Google. They made their own Google. They don't need American Google no more. Visa, Mastercard. Um, let's see, because I know I seen it. So Europe, is Europe ready to reduce its renaissance and on Visa and Mastercard? Yep, they doing it. UK bank boss plan to set up a Visa and Mastercard alternative amends amend Trump's fare. So he's not bringing no stability. He's bringing this, like, people are not comfortable any longer dealing with America. European 24 trillion breakup with Visa and Mastercard has begun. So she was right on point. So Visa and Mastercard is being cut off in Europe, which is a great thing. So now, so was it last week? I believe it was last week. The Supreme Court, yeah, it had to be last Friday. Yeah, time is going by so fast. Last Friday, um, what you call it? The Supreme Court had said that what Trump did with the tariffs, how it was unconstitutional. Like they didn't have the right to do that. So right after, because he was so angry, that's why he was talking. Oh, they're so nasty. They're so nasty. Right. Right after he did that, he put 15% on everybody. So everybody right now is seeing the instability with an unstable man. Matter of fact, hold on. What's this? Proverbs? Meddle not with a man that give him the change. There's that one, and a double-minded man. because Trump is becoming the same thing that Trump was talking about. This guy, this quack by the name of what's this cocksucker name? Damn, yeah, no Biden, what, right? The same thing. He's dementia and all this other stuff. Well, it's coming. Same thing with him. It says, let me get the one in. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Proverbs 20:19. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flatter with his lips. And politicians, that's all they about. They just talk a lot of shit. And here it is, they tell on each other and they do the same goddamn thing. Vile people. All right. But this is scripture I was thinking about. Proverbs 24:21. My son, fear thou the Lord and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change. And this current president, he changes like the freaking like the moon cycle. Okay, he sells his selling point. He's a salesman, so he tells when he went up there, was it Tuesday, the State of the Union? He lied his ass off on every single thing, and he's like, yeah, everything's great. He said, well, we lifted up X amount of people out of food stamps, which they didn't lift out nobody out of food stamps. They just cut them off. So now people are struggling more because the reason why people are struggling more, hey, come to find out, the most majority of people that was working, they were on food stamps. And if they're on food stamps, even though they're working, something's wrong there. And according to how the system was created, how much you make and everything like that, they do the math like, wait a minute, you can't afford to eat. So these devils decide, let's cut them off. Boop, cut them off, but they didn't cut off a certain type of group. That group has never got cut off for anything. All right. Matter of fact, that group of people, everything that the majority of people have lost has gone on to them. Keep their, to keep their shit going. So all these things is happening, and people are getting upset. Now even Americans' allies are looking at them like, nah, we can't really do business with this guy. All right. I believe it's in this chapter, Slakia. Oh yeah, this is it. Right here. James 1:8. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So Trump is unstable right now. Let me see what is another precept to that. That doesn't say what it doesn't say per se. Like they're completely unstable. Let me see what this says right here. Now it goes into something else. So they're unstable in every. Whoa, you know what I get? I know what I get. I know what I get. I wanted to deal with the unstable part, but it's all right because this proves it all. Isaiah 19:14. I mean, the whole chapter is bad. It deals with everything that's going on. It says, the Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, which that perverse spirit right now has been the entire confusion that's been going on for all these years. It's not talking about 5 years ago. It's not talking 10 years ago. America has been nothing but pure confusion. All right. Throughout the whole time, it just got worse and worse. All right. So the Lord had mingled the perverse spirit. That's what it said. The love of many shall wax cold, because of iniquity shall abound, and love of many shall wax cold. All right. So that's the perverseness that's been going on for all these years. And it says, and they have caused Egypt to err, and every work thereof as a drunken man staggered from his vomit. Everything that you could think of, finances, things that we just find out years ago, how the tariffs and everything like that, every step that this empire makes has been error, wrong, 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 wrong. And all it does is makes it worse and worse. And they have a thing where they just like to push things back, right? In the future, push things back nearsighted or pretend like it doesn't exist. All these things are happening. And since all these things are happening, everything that they do, it may in the beginning it may seem like it's working for whatever occasion is working, but overall is depleting fastly. So this whole fairy tale of making America great again can never get great because everything that is done, every move that it has made, has gotten worse. Everybody wanted ICE, and ICE is just going through everything, even killing quote unquote Americans. All right. He started out last year. He started out with a bang, and ever since then, it's getting shit speeding up, and it's really showing now. Everything is really on blast right now. Like, wait a minute. You said that if you charge these your allies, everybody, they was making a. They said, oh, they want to make a deal with us real quick. They quick to make a deal, and it was not really them because they don't really have nothing just to give. I'm talking about Europe. They really don't got nothing. It was the countries that has natural resources. They all decided to do what? You know what? We don't need the Americans. We don't need the dollar. We'll trade amongst ourselves. And when that happened, that was the worst possible outcome for them. And they cut off the West. And now, even amongst the West, Europe, which is a bottom feeder, that needs everything from everybody else. And the real reason why Europe needs everything from everybody else is because who's ruling it. And the bottom feeders are saying, nope, we're gonna cut off this place once again. So this place is looking fucking horrible. It's just a matter of time, brothers and sisters, just a matter of time. And when this collapse happens, it's gonna happen so devastating. This is why they have these they're calling it concentration camps. Because when this shit happens, every avenue that people could possibly think of, like primary example, the thing back in the days, I don't know if it's still, you can have a Swiss account, right? You can have an account outside of America where they can't touch this, that, to the third. Well, let's say because Swiss is part of in Europe, let's say they say nope, we can't. We're not gonna deal. Visa's no longer prominent here. What the fuck you think you're gonna do? I don't know if this. I don't know if it's Visa. That could be something else. But it's just the point of the matter is everybody's cutting this place off. Jeremiah 51:7. What should I start at 6? I can't remember. I start at 6. It says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be ye not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and he will render unto her a recompense. Recompense, which we all should know by now, is payback. This is the time when the Lord getting the payback on this God-forsaken land. All right? Because America is Babylon the Great. It says, that's why when you go to previous chapter, it says, all nations that have um, all nations that have arrows, shoot at her. All right? And it's talking about nations outside Shoot at her. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that real quick. Jeremiah 50 and there it is. 9. It said, "For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations." Assembly of great nations. Look up the word assembly. Assembly, a company, congregation, convulsion, assembly for evil counsel, war, or invasion. So, a great gathering of nations, allies, nations and their allies. All right. America, everything that is being done has isolated this place. Even I was watching it earlier. I'll do that too. You know, I like to put two things. And it was Apostle Hall that had coined it from was Midas touch. And he was just basically saying how in the US military, I believe is Gerald Ford, that carrier, how they having toilet problems. Trust me, you've been in that shit. That's oof. But basically saying that the sailors are seem like they don't they sabotaging everything, and they've been out to sea for over 245 days. That's really not supposed. You supposed to do your 6 months tour, 6 or 7 months the most, because you have to go. The reason why it's only 6 months or seven or whatever is because of the fact that the ship always end up breaking down. So you have to shut it down and fix up whatever the problem is at home base, or you could do it overseas. But with Israel dragging America into that war, it's like fuck that. We need that ship to show a power. And I believe it said that was it the U.S. One of them, it was a Lincoln. One of them, they don't even have the dock. They don't even have the fucking dock. They're self-sufficient. So it's just a setup which that will fuck up the sailor's psych. That will fuck anybody's mind up just to be in a constant. And the guy was basically saying, you know what? Let me get it. All right, this is from the Midas touch. So I'm gonna let him play a little bit.
Into 2026, despite external assistance being called 42 times, and it's in Greece right now, or now it's leaving Greece, but it was there for a short period of time in order to try to deal with all of this. The USS has been at sea for 241 days. One of the things that we're hearing is people are missing births, missing their children's first step. The sewage system is failing, as I just mentioned. Crew members are telling reporters privately they want to quit the Navy. Morale is described in terms.
And that was what I was looking for. It was the morale. So when you in the military, when they're about to deploy or go to war or everything like that, the first thing they do to keep the morale up, I'm giving you a little insight. They'll everybody will start eating steak and lobster. All right, which obviously the lobster is disgusting, but that's supposed to be like the top notch. They do that before you go, and when they feel like they overworked you, then they start feeding you steak and lobster again to keep your morale high, because the crew members, the key thing of being in a ship is the morale got to be high. People, you have to want people to maintain that, and it's easy for somebody to lose it. But with the uncertainty with this current ruler, with the straight up lies that he been saying, people are not feeling anything that's coming out their mouth. Oh, that's the other thing. Oh shit, how can I forget? So if they cut off Visa and MasterCard, then how is a military personnel in Europe is going to deal? How are they gonna buy anything? because that's a universal thing. Oh yeah, this place is fucked. It says, for lo, I will raise up a cause to come up against Babylon, an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrow shall be as a mighty expert man, and none shall return in vain. So the Lord's surrounding America against their enemies, even their own allies, and everybody's starting not to fill this place. Not they're not. It's not good. All right, it's not good. If you cut off everything from this place, take away the strength, like the whole Hollywood shit. That was a big fucking deal. So another thing was happening. Hollywood for a long time, unbeknownst to us, they lost a lot. And I was, you notice, well, a lot of Hollywood movie productions were done in Georgia, right? And he bought a whole bunch of lots. You got this guy, Tyler Perry, and all this other shit. That wasn't by accident. It was literally moving from Hollywood, California, to Georgia. So now even Georgia, who I learned that from this guy Mel Gibson. They even said that they had to move to Europe to produce films because it's a lot cheaper. So this guy, Nero, 47, during his last year's his rant, one of the things was he would charge extra money for anybody that's dealing outside of America. So think about everything. Hollywood's losing its steam. They had to move. The whole production and everything like that, a lot of it got to be done in Europe. Why? Because it's a lot cheaper. Because the economics here is dire, is bad, right? It's not worth it. And then they come to find out that everything that this place is doing is hurting the bottom line business for everything. So now it's like a little tit for tat. Everything's being removed from Bama. Sorry for my long rant, but you got to envision what's going on. Everything is being removed. Okay, and it's not gonna hit the bottom your bottom line dollars quite yet, but it seems like it's all gonna hit all at once. That's what it's looking like. Because the more customers that they lose, the more it's gonna get bad. It says, "Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. But this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad." So there was an agreement with everything that they agreed upon. Tell you what, in Revelation 17, that the beast, how it goes again? You gotta get it. Gots to get it. Revelation 17. Revelation means the unveiling. Okay, that was just seen. Hold on, what the hell just happened? Ah, technical difficulties. All right, I just go boom, bring it back to life, and it should pop up. If not, then we have a problem. It's like we have a problem, and next time I do another show is gonna be fine. Anyway, since I got this, I'll be right back to this one. This is something. Revelation 17 and 15 or 16? 16. No, sorry. 17. 17 and 17. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. So that agreement wasn't just an alliance of military might. The agreement also was the full package, everything, the export, imports, everything. Whatever they could get, they got. Whatever they could get from the other sides, they was doing. That's that's how business was conducted. So right now, they're realizing this business deal that we have conducted is lump sided. Is no longer working out. All right, it's no longer working out for us. It's not working out for our future. It's not working for our plans. So we gotta preserve ourselves. And that's exactly what's happened. So it says, I'm sorry, wrong chapter again. Jeremiah 15:7. It's 8. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen. Now the point is, it's gonna when everything collapses, it's gonna happen suddenly. One day everything's gonna be fine, and then one day, out of the blue, could be a regular afternoon. Everything fine, and then you're gonna hear everybody probably an alarm or something to that effect. The economy crashes. You can't get the money out of your account. Simultaneously, probably a plague is going to take place. They're already going to have ICE, military troops. Everything's going to be like boom, boom, boom. It's going to be suddenly. All right. And then there's going to be a period of time where there's going to be calm, cool, collective. Like it says in, was it First Thessalonians, the 5th chapter. And then the Lord's going to come suddenly, boom. When they think about they chipping they got everybody chipped that they think the war is going to go good suddenly. All right, unexpectedly. That's how all this shit is gonna go down. It says, and destroyed, how for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And the balm was what? Balm is a healing ointment. So how many healing ointments was given to get these countries, actually I gotta say it correctly, get these corporations back in his foot. There was a lot of bailouts. It didn't work. All right. They want to collapse the current present system. They want to collapse it. They want to collapse it and bring in a new system. But they want to control it as they control the old system. So they got a sick mind for them to actually believe that they're gonna be in control of everything. So we at the end of this shit, man. It says we would have healed Babylon. So yeah, we would have it would have been healed. Economist, expert, somebody would have figured it out. Hey, as much as a great at everything Jake would have figured it out. Came like, this is what we got to do to get this out of there. But it says, but she is not healed. So no matter what they did, whatever they decided to do, no matter what they did was checkmated. It was like, nope, this is not gonna go no further. But she is not healed, forsake her. So this is the time when even salt for salt and pepper. She even talking about cutting it off. All right, and she was a rapper. She was an insider. She's in the spirit of this place is gone. But yet you have these so-called Hebrew Israelites, all right, that sold out, and they worse than anybody I can imagine. At least with Comfy, hey, even with Nate and his whole entourage, that organization they did. At least they had to rule for a little. At least it was on top for a little bit. These niggas are just damn, they stupid. But we in a time right now. Everybody supposed to be forsaking this place. Matter of fact, hold on, get this real quick. Micah 2:10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted." That's self-explanatory. And it shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. So this is not our rest. This is not for your next generation or the generation. You know, it's getting darker, bleak. There's no future. Everybody works to maintain social security. So when they get older, they have a retirement plan. Now they're basically saying that ain't happening. All right, they're so far gone. We're in what, $38 trillion in debt, if I'm not mistaken. Let me back that up because I haven't seen it in a while. So Europe cut it off, cut America off. That clock live, I believe it's 38. Come on, what the fuck? Yep, 38 trillion. About to be 39 real soon. $38 trillion in debt. Yeah. I always bring up the story. It's a classification on ships of each class of fires. Okay, now you want to think. And one of the class of fires, Delta. And Delta, there's no water, there's no chemical that can smother it. The whole point of that is you got to genocide it. In other words, you have to jump overboard because it kills everything. Well, that goes for this place. What scripture came to mind? It doesn't matter. I can't remember right now. All right, let's go for this place. Forsake this place. This place is a forsaken place. Well, Revelation, the 18th chapter tells you that. All right, Lord's gonna double. So right now, the spirit that everything or everyone should be is forsake this place. All right, there's no saving it. There's no future. You don't want your child to be raised up in this shit. You don't want no children here. The best films to watch is the films in damn. I can believe I'm gonna say this in the '90s. The best music to listen to, but listen to the '80s or early '90s or something like that. If you want to go in a time capsule, just look at old shit because the shit that is right now is dead. Art is dead. Creativity is dead. Everything. The feel is no more. The holiday spirits are dead. Everything. And then all this it's explaining to us that the time is now. It's over. All right. It says that let everyone go into his own country. So yeah, they forcing people out. That's one way, and people are gradually leaving. People leaving big cities, and some people just leaving the country in general. Especially the way this administration has been treating people in general. Who wants to be in this shit? Okay, and it says, and everything is happening right now. It says, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. So the judgment of America has lifted up to the heavens, and is is guilty at all costs. So the only thing left is the utter destruction of America. Hey, love to be the bearer of good news, because there is a world after America. Only people that don't believe there's no world after America is those that is completely caught up, what they'll say, in the matrix. All right, those of us that know the world, this current present world has to go in order for our world, the kingdom of heaven, to be established. Let it go. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nation Israel. Shalom.